Hi. We've all heard the phrase, what goes around comes around. And a lot of people think that karma is the reason for their hardship or misery. I don't think that karma is actually necessarily as simple as cause and effect. I think that karma is more of a training or teaching structure. We have to do it all. We can't just do the parts of the curriculum that we like, just the PE and the social ed classes and the classes we enjoy. We have to take part in the whole curriculum, the parts that we dislike as well. We have to do them all. You have to do the pharaoh with the godlike qualities. You have to do the homeless peasant who lives on the streets. You have to do the ruthless tyrant who's murdered a lot of people. You have to do the scapegoat who's been harassed and abused and massacred, the victim. You've got to do it all. You've got to do abuse of power 101, abuse of power 102, 103, 104. You've got to do the righteous leader 101, 102, 103 and 104. We have to do them all. So where's the karma? Where's the cause and effect? Where's the payback and punishment elements in that? Our souls are there sitting outside of time, and then it has to incarnate into this 3D realm maybe 24,000 times or so, 24,000 lifetimes, 24,000 courses we have to take. Nobody really knows how many, but you have to do all of it, and then you have to implant yourself into all these existences, all these characteristics, these personalities, all these different languages, these time zones, all of it. Then where's the karma in that? We have to do the jerk, the good guy, the bad guy. We have to do misuse of power 101. Where's the reward and punishment in all of that? The eternal self, the God self, the one self is living outside of time. It isn't what we think it is. Karma is more so of a training, an experiencing type of structure. Yes, you have to go into have the bad guy 101 class, and maybe the other lifetimes that follow that, maybe a series of bad guys 101, ruthless ruler 101. But then you have to have the victimization classes as well, because it's all part of the curriculum, and to have like a whole view of the curriculum, you've got to see both sides of the coin. You have to be the attacker and the attacked. You have to see it from both perspectives. And when you start to realize and you look back and you find out that your past life you've been a horrible person, there's no need to be embarrassed. I had a hard time trying to wrap my head around the fact that I've had lots of bad guy lifetimes, and I think, well, how can I be a bad guy and be the eternal divine self as well? But it's not about doing all the lifetimes right or perfectly. It's not about whether we've, been a saint. The abuse of power normally comes when a soul's incarnated into a situation, into a child that may have been repeatedly beaten with a stick, or been repeatedly neglected or treated badly as a child. And then it just adds up that that child would grow up to be beaten, given abuse, treating others badly because of the conditions in which it found itself. Now, the soul chooses the situation in which it wants to be born into. And when it wants to, experience the misuse of power, it finds an available body to be born into. And that's what shapes the personality of that individual in that lifetime. But not all lifetimes are about turning the misuse of power or flipping the coin and doing the other. Some aren't, because it depends on which subjects you're taking at what time. So the reincarnational structure is more than just, it's more about a well-rounded experience of the all. A well-rounded experience of the eternal self, experiencing rather than learning and exploring itself and its imaginings and its creations. Just because you've had a bad guy lifetime, and you've had some bad karma way back then, or back then, it's not a payback or a punishment, because our souls are really living outside of time. And the idea of what goes around comes around, it doesn't really work here. Now, karma can also be instantaneous, and the more we awake, the more we become enlightened, the more you get slapped in the face by doing something wrong, the more it comes back quicker. That universal law of cause and effect. There is still cause and effect when you exist in time. It still applies. And it's not the eternal self. You want to be experiencing what it is like to be on this 3D realm, all aspects of humanity. So when you come to that point in your journey, when all karma, when you start to awake and become enlightened, all karma can disappear. When you realize who and what you really are, when you start living in the now, and when you let your divine expression of who you are manifest on this 3D realm, then all karma disappears. All karma simply cancels out for the illusion that it really was. Karma itself is a mental construct. It's the mind and the imaginations of God. It's an illusion. It started, so it will finish. And the illusion that nevertheless has real effects on this 3D plane, and it's only here in the material reality. It doesn't exist outside of the 3D realm. Maybe it does in some other system somewhere else in the cosmos where you've got choice, and if you want to have these experiences you can tap into them. But outside of this area of where mental constructs apply, it doesn't really exist. So if you want to stop living from the viewpoint, if you stop living from the viewpoint of being a human and start living from the viewpoint of being an eternal divine soul self, then you can express that divinity into the wider world and live here in the now, the ever unfolding now that never ends, that moment that's everlasting, that's always here. And then karma disappears. It doesn't mean that you can't create more karma if you go out and break the law or you go and do something. There will be, cause and effect then, because you're doing it within the 3D realm. But likewise, if you show love, peace, wisdom and harmony to your fellow man, you might even get some extra bonus points, some extra awards for that type of living in the now. So it's not that it doesn't apply in the material construct that reality is. It is not that hard. It's not like a hard fast rule that you're experiencing hardship because you did something wrong in your past life. we need to get rid of those thoughts. We have to get rid of them right now. Because that's not what karma is about. Karma is about, well, if you misuse your power in a past life, because that's what you were supposed to experience then, but once that lifetime is over, it's okay, it's finished, it's gone, it's done. You don't have to pay for it repeatedly over and over and over again. If you were the bad son or the bad daughter, the bad husband, the bad ruler, the bad wife, you know, once that lifetime's finished, it's over with. And you come to a new lifetime when you have new experiences. So allow the karma to disappear. You don't have to be held down by the weight of karma and be burdened for your entire lifetime. Some of us may think that we have karma because we have a disability, we can't talk or we can't walk, we can't hear, or any type of disability. But this isn't necessarily the case. It's because everyone has to experience the whole curriculum. Everyone has to experience all the subjects, even the specialist subjects. Everyone has to experience being paralyzed, not being able to talk, not being able to walk, the all. So we need to get rid of that idea that we deserved it for some reason, or that you don't deserve anything bad at all. You're just exploring aspects of being in the body and trying all the different facets of what being a human really is. All of it, the good experiences and the bad experiences, the haves experiences and the have not experiences. We need to try all of the classes. And when we've finished trying all the classes and going through all the classes, every human experience, of every human personality, of every human condition, then we've finished with the reincarnational structure. We've finished with the reincarnational cycle. It's not about what goes around comes around. Even if you're a pure, chaste virgin in your previous lifetime, in the next lifetime you could be, you know, a hooker. So forget about being subject to some kind of cause and effect or punishment rule. That's not what karma is about. It's just a structure. It's just a mind construct of the eternal self. And that's what you want, and what you don't want, leave it behind. You know, if this makes sense to you, take something from it. If it doesn't make sense, fair enough. But we must allow all karma to disappear. In order to ascend, we must let all karma disappear when the time has come to let it disappear. Love gets rid of all karma. When you realize yourself, your true identity in the divinity of God, then all karma will be lifted. Thank you. Thanks for joining me again today. Love and peace, harmony. Take care. Till next time.